All right.
Hello, is this thing on?
Apparently so. I think we're gonna just need to monitor the chat to make sure all sound is at the right kind of levels.
It seems to be.
I'm hoping so. I can't have it open because otherwise there will be feedback, the likes of which has never been seen or heard. Either of those.
Quite literally heard.
Indeed.
But anyway,
yeah, take
welcome
it away.
Everyone. What do you mean take it? Well, you're the one hosting, my brother.
Yeah, I'm just a placeholder.
You're just here for the vibes.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. Hello, welcome one and all everybody to Season 2 of the Pokemon Premier League draft stream and / coach reveal, I suppose. If I've done this correctly, the paste bin should be in the description. It is not in the description. Fuck it, Weeball. We move on. Already going really well. I am Ellie Sucks, and I'm here joined today by Shroom Raver, who is graciously hosting this train wreck of a draft stream. Shroomy, come on in, say hello, even though you've already said hello.
That is indeed me. Hello. We had some technical difficulties.
That's one way to put it.
That is one way of putting it. It was a time. It certainly was a time.
I'm not sure why we put two boomers in charge of live streaming in the day and age of 2024, but here we are.
Yeah.
Before we reveal the first stream, everybody like the stream, comment, make sure you share with your friends, put it out on x.com, formerly known as Twitter, and all that bollocks. Should we go ahead and show the first stream? And by stream, I mean team.
I think we probably should.
Alright, let's do this. Aha! There's a Shroom Raver!
That's my face.
This isn't alphabetical order.
No, this is in draft order.
Oh, well, you know what? Fair enough. That's more logical, actually. That's far more logical.
I like to think so.
So, we have J. Ricky joining us for Season 2 of the Pokemon Premier League. This is Premier League? What was that?
The Premier Log. This is indeed sponsored by Carlsberg, Premier Lager.
BBL channel last season. He does upload his own Draft League content, obviously, but for those that do not know him, this is J. Ricky, and he picked up Gouging Fire, first pick overall. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts?
Well, he did indeed, yes. John Ricky himself, picking up Gouging Fire after many years of waiting on the first pick. It's interesting. It's an unknown quantity. I think pretty much anyone would have taken it though. Like,
yeah, agreed. I think it was very
good.
much. I was gonna say, I think it's very much a Pokemon that a lot of coaches had their eyes on.
Yeah.
I know that he upset Jack by picking this. I know Jack had his eye on it, but
I mean, Jack just should have fixed the draft order better. That's on him.
yeah, that's on him. He is the commissioner of the league. If he really had first pick, idiot. Gouging Fire is incredible. Like, you've got the great defensive typing, great offensive typing, good bulk, good setup options, photosynthesis. So on a Sun team, it's gonna go fucking crazy. And spoiler alert, he has drafted a Sun team, and I think he's drafted around it really well. You've got obviously Ninetales with the Sun support. You've got Manaphy to work outside of the Sun and absorb all those Scalds. We got Ting Lu to set up the hazards and Cyclozar to spin them away. It's a really good draft, I feel.
Yeah, I like this one. Cyclozar is a very good niche spinner. Having used it before, it is very good at what it does. And sleeper picks as well, like Miss Magus is a very good sleeper pick.
I agree. Yeah, I like the Terra options that he's put with it as well. Like Ghost, so he can still block spin. like Fairy as well, because Stab Dazzling Gleam is going to be nice, and even like Fighting is going to be good for Steel types as well. So I think smart Terra options there, and Victory Bell in the Sun with Growth and Terra Fire, that's going to be scary.
Yeah, Victory Bell is going to be another sleeper one. You don't always immediately go to Victory Bell when you think Sunsweeper, but it can certainly do a job. Ampharos as well. Like, let's not sleep on Ampharos. It can do a thing, maybe.
Can it? Are you sure about that?
Well, you know, the maybe is there for a reason. Either way, like, I don't want to be taking on. That's very powerful Sun offense, and I really don't want to be taking on Ting Lu plus Skarmory. Like, just no thanks.
Yeah, I was gonna say like the defensive core or just defensive pivot of Hatterene, Skarmory, Ting Lu just seems disgusting. Obviously, you got Hatterene there to mitigate the hazards, and also just one of the best fighting type switch-ins in the entire game. Just a really nice pair with the Ting Lu there. So it's gonna be a bit gross facing this team, because you got to think about every turn. Do you set up hazards? Is the Hatterene coming in? Do I click U-turn and get whittled down by Rocky Helmet Skarmory? Who knows?
Yeah, there's a whole lot going on there. And you know what, Addy? You're right. Ampharos can Meteor Beam.
That's about all it can do.
It can Volt Switch, maybe. Also, there's a Hisuian Sneasel.
Yeah.
Which,
anyway, moving on.
Worth mentioning, I suppose.
Is it? That's
debatable. You know, debatable, very true. But that's what we're here to do. We're here to debate. I don't like the team as like someone who might have to face it. I like it as the look of it.
I was about to say, what? Yeah. You're not talking him live on stream right now.
It's like, yeah, this is Ricky's team. I hate it. Yeah, no, this is nasty stuff. It's gonna do well.
It is. Anyway, shall we move on to draft numero uno?
Or indeed duo.
Duo?
Nay.
This is one of the drafts of all time.
This is certainly one of the drafts of all time. There's a lot of purple things there, and none of them are spectacular.
How dare you say that about Gramble? I'll have you know, I used that in Season 1 of Pokemon Premier League, and it was still garbage before the power creep even happened.
Well, there you have it. From a user of it, Granbull is mid as fuck.
I can't wait for them to bring it against their Week 1 opponent, it to do really well, and then for Jack to drop it immediately, because that's what he did with Sneasel in Season 1. He dropped one of his Lotus that saved him the game, and I'm gonna be surprised. Gonna be interested to see if he does it again this season. But yeah, this team, it's strange, because last season he kind of went and drafted a team that looked like had a lot of pieces and they didn't really work together, and it kind of looks like he's done the same here. I don't know.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, there's obvious threats there. Like, yes, this is Speed Boost Blaziken that we're looking at here. The robot Delibirds exists. He drafted Hydrapple round 3.
You gotta respect him for it. You? No, never respect Jack. I don't condone. We don't encourage respecting Jack in this household.
We do not condone that in this society.
In all seriousness, I literally think that this draft is he picked things that he wanted to use, and you know what? Fair enough. I get it. I do not like the fact that Necrozma has set up support with Sticky Web and Toxic Spikes. That scares me. I think that's terrifying. Like that's good.
Yeah, not too much of a fan of potentially having to face that.
I was gonna say, like, I like the offensive core between Blaziken Bundle and King Gambit, because you take those top 3 and like, where are your switch-ins to that?
Yeah, exactly. There are some sleeper ones on there. Like, I'm interested to see what Terra Ambipom can do. Equally interested to see what non-Terra Killer Wattrel can do, because that thing's a demon with Terra. Without it, remains to be seen.
We'll have to wait and see. I will say Jack has also used Drift Blim spectacularly in the past, so I'm kind of terrified he's got that on his draft. But we're also just kind of ignoring the fact Terra Rhyperia, one of the best Terramons we had on the board this season, that's going to be really scary with Swords Dance Scale Shot, because it got Scale Shot.
Yeah, Scale Shot on there. Oh, have we lost any?
I hope not.
Oh, there we go. No, you're back. You're good. Yeah, Scale Shot Swords Dance, a lot of mons have got it, and Rhyperia's a very good user of it, especially with Terra, especially with Solid Rock. That is not something I'm particularly interested in wanting to face, actually. No, thank you.
I was gonna say not only with Solid Rock, but with Lightning Rod as well. With Terra Water, Lightning Rod, this thing gets very annoying very quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, you can finally aim for the horn, and it still doesn't matter.
I was gonna say you've got bulky offense and with a bundle and a Blaziken. Like I feel like this team is gonna perform well. Like it's a very strange team, but Jack tends to pilot those very well.
Yeah, and he's sort of nailing offense that can switch in. Because you look at that and you only think there's not too many things that want to come defensive every time. Wheezing is it, basically. But stuff like Necrozma, like Bundle, like Gambit, Rhyperia, I think maybe the Hydrapple can just switch in and tank a hit and just kill something.
Yeah. Jack is quite an intelligent player. Like, that sounds like... on, I don't know, just Landorus Therian. Like, he will use it as a pivot rather than like a Specs Breaker. Like, whilst it doesn't necessarily look like he's got too many bulky pieces, or defensive pieces, I should say, he will like utilize his team so that it will work. Like, that sounds really strange. But also, can we just talk about? I was gonna say, can we also just talk about the Necrozma and King Gambit pairing?
I'd sure prefer not to. That's not something that anyone wants to face. It's just too many things that take an ungodly amount of hits and kill an ungodly amount of things.
I was gonna say, like, talking from experience, prepping for this team looks like it's a nightmare. Can confirm is a nightmare. You start doing calcs and then wish you hadn't, and then have a breakdown midway through building.
Yeah, it looks like the kind of team where you calc against it and you cry, and then you calc it against you and you just dissolve
also
into
cry.
A puddle of tears.
Yeah. I don't know, but I think the biggest weakness on this team is the speed. Obviously, you've got speed boost Blaziken and you've got Bundle. Outside of setup, Necrozma is slow. Obviously, you've got Gambit with Sucker Punch, but you have Ambipom there, but it's also an Ambipom.
That is, it can confirm. It is an Ambipom.
So outside of webs, I feel like this team is going to struggle against fast offense. But like I said, we'll have to see. We'll have to see.
There's also the other thing you have to take into account, which is that given that this is Jack, half of this team will be gone by week 2.
Oh yeah, no, I was going to say this. I imagine we'll cook up a transfer video next week, and this screen would look wildly different.
Oh yeah, that would be longer than this stream with Jack.
Probably, yeah.
It would be longer than the stream. But yeah, it's that's certainly a team. Shall we move on to the third team, perchance?
I think so. I think we've had enough shit talking Jack's draft.
Well, there's never too much of that. But
I was going to say we can never have enough shit talking.
Let's take a look at another coach that no one wants to fight, Monte.
I want everybody to know that he drafted Squawkabilly before it was cool.
That is true. He did. We can confirm that. One question I would have is, who let him do this?
Yeah, I don't know what we were cooking. All 17 other coaches... By the way, there's 18 coaches this season. Spoilers.
Yeah.
All 17 other coaches let this happen. Yeah, he has Spectria Chi-Yu and Sneezer with a Terrain Setter. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure I particularly enjoy the idea of this.
I was going to say, that's my summation, is just
And then you look at like the quote-unquote lower tier, but still like good stuff like Blastoise, Mesprit is there as well. Can't sleep on Galvantula either.
No, especially with Terra as well. Like, I think it's got two very solid Terra options. Like defensively, you've got Mesprit. Like you've got the Healing Wish support into like a Shell Smash Blastoise or into like a Ursaluna late game. That's gonna go freaking crazy.
Yeah.
You've got the web support there with Galvantula as well. Sneeze or Spectria under webs seems terrifying. You've then got like Diancie to set up all the hazards in the world and even set up Trick Room if it wants to for the Ursaluna. Like this team has all of the options. And he went very top heavy, but that's not a bad thing. There is low-key, there is not a single bad Pokemon on this draft.
Yeah, it could be seen as top heavy, certainly with those three, but like you look at the end of the draft and that is not a bad bottom.
No, pause.
I was waiting for that.
I was going to say that was 100% intentional.
Oh yeah, 100%, absolutely. Also, by the way, hello everyone in chat. I see friends, I see new people. Hello. I hope you're all having a good time and are well.
I also hope that. And except for Frank Trade. Fuck you,
yeah,
Frank
absolutely
Trade.
not.
We don't support. Fuck off.
Get out of here, Frank. How dare you? How dare you come to the stream of the league that you're a part of?
Wow, spoilers.
Oh, sorry.
Can't believe you just reveal that, Shroom. What the hell, man?
Rip me, I suppose.
You're never going to be invited to this league. God.
I will never financially or psychologically recover from this.
I will say, he has incredible. So, can we just talk about the speed options on this team? You have Unburden Sneasler to pair with the Rillaboom. We also have web support, but outside of that, we have one of the fastest mons in the game with Spectria. If he wants to be funky with it, he can run Flame Charge Chi-Yu and just start nuking everything late game. And then, outside of that, you've got to worry about Shell Smash Blastoise. And then you've got Trick Room still in it. Like, this
just
team...
saw that in chat, talking about Trick Room. That is...
Like,
there's too many options.
This team's gonna go sicko mode. You've got Chi-Yu to break down just basically any wall under the sun. So Spectria can just come in and claim some kills. Like, Sneasler really pairs offensively well with Spectria. And I think we're gonna see Spectria like top of the MVP. Like, on this team, I think we're gonna see Spectria really pop off.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you've given one. I mean, Spectria was one of those mons where we were sitting there for ages going, do we ban it? Do we not? And then we let Monte draft it.
I don't know.
We fucked up. We've really messed up here.
I was going to say, Addison in the chat just said, Monte's draft has the best control over speed out of any draft I've seen this draft.
Absolutely nailed it. Addie's
and
nailed it.
I was going to say, like, you absolutely cannot disagree with that take. That's just facts. Like, Monte has just every option under the sun when it comes to speed control. And I look forward to getting railed again by him this season, probably.
Well, hopefully I can avoid him for the entire... Well, I'm sure you will. I mean, Frank, if you wanted Chi-Yu so badly, like you said to other people, you should have picked it round 1. That's your fault. It sounds to me like a big skill issue.
That is a skill issue, Frank. You should have just picked it. You should have just picked it before Monte. Idiot.
Yeah, I mean, you've got no one to blame but yourself.
Also, yeah, before we move on, can we just say round Chi-Yu?
Yeah, how it fell that far is beyond me. But then again, you were not... We let this happen. We let this happen. This is on us.
He can copycat Final Gambit.
Ooh, he can.
What
we like that.
What am I missing here? Final Gambit with the Sneasler and then copycat with I don't know. But
it's probably like the Squawkabilly, and that's the only way it's going to get a kill.
Don't disrespect Squawkabilly, okay? I've seen it do things, maybe.
Fair point.
Oh, Squawkabilly gets Gambit. Okay, well, that
Gambit. Okay. All right. Well, we'll see. It remains to be seen if that'll be run.
There you go.
All right.
Cat. All right. Well, let's move on from the shenanigans.
Yes. Let's have a look at the next of the drafts.
I was gonna say at least chat is well informed. We don't. Oh, look at this fucking awful draft. I wonder who coaches. Oh, I can't even. It's so awful. I can't even speak.
So yeah, let's have Shroom's first impression. Then you can correct me.
Okay.
Dragapult is fairly busted. Iron Hands is gross. You didn't have a round 3 pick. I'm not going to talk about it. And then round 4, Landorus. Don't you laugh at me. Don't you laugh at me, Ellie.
You know what? I will mute myself, so I will not. This will be uninterrupted. Go ahead.
Thank you. There's a story behind the Heatran that I'm not going to tell you, but I'm sure Ellie will. Yeah, webs on the Arachnids. Certainly a Terror Arachnid looks particularly scary. That thing can hit like a truck as well. Serperior is not one you see all that often. I like it here, just as something very pacey that can build up that power very quickly. We have the Aurora Veil, with no one really to benefit from it outside of setup, but there's plenty of setup here too. Hisuian Quillfish, I mean, Ellie really needs to not have picked that because I wanted it, and that's very selfish. Lycanroc Dusk is a monster. People sleep on Lycanroc Dusk even now, and they really shouldn't because it's power. And also that is a Trapinch. That is indeed a Trapinch. Yeah, the team is pretty disgusting behind Veil. That is true. Like, there's no one that takes advantage of the snow immediately, outside of being able to set up with the likes of Dragapult, with the likes of Iron Hands. It's not an ideal scenario for people to go up against, is that kind of setup behind Aurora Veil.
Yes, sir. Anyone who wants to face Iron Hands behind Veil, firstly, I think you need to have your mental health assessed, because boy howdy, I do not trust you. Second of all, I don't know. People are saying, oh, what about hazard removal? Hazard removal is overrated. Joey won season 1 of the PPL without a single hazard removal. So, fuck it, I can do it as well.
Yeah, easy. It's super easy. One might even say it's barely an inconvenience.
It's so true. I will say, the reason I drafted Trapinch was I needed a 9th Mon, or 10th Mon. I had 1 point left, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to get arena trapped and anyone to use this against me. I have a Heatran, I have an Iron Hands. I don't want to get fucking trapped and killed by an Earthquake, so I'll just pick up Trapinch. No one else can do it.
Yeah, I mean, I will say that, Trapinch is actually unironically powerful.
Yes.
But also, when this was picked, people were like, oh my goodness, that's really quite scary. And also, it can Terror, so who knows what's going to happen, and then you just didn't Terror it.
Listen, I want a Terra Arachnid, okay? And unfortunately, I couldn't afford to Terra both Arachnid, Ninetales, and Trapinch. So
very unfortunate.
I was gonna say people are cultured. They know of the breaking potential that Trapinch has. So I'm all for it. I will say, like, looking at my own draft, like, I really don't know how to talk about it. It's really strange. I think my biggest weakness is, like, hazards. Like, I've got hazard setters, but, like, do I want to be bringing them every week? Do I want rocks on Heatran every week? Probably not. Do I want rocks on Lander every week? Hell no. And then there's a point where I've got, obviously, T-Spikes and Spikes on Quillfish, but, like, I don't know. I think that's my biggest weakness. Who knows? Maybe chat can roast me.
I mean, it looks like a lot of parts that have gone together with other parts in the past,
Yeah.
Like, you look at the likes of Dragapult, it's obviously a round 1 pick for anybody. But then you look at the classic pairing Heatran Lando. Those guys have worked together for generations and will continue to do so. And Iron Hands is just, I don't want to face Iron Hands ever. It's so annoying. It's the Don Fanatic of Pokemon. It's that annoying.
Q has just dropped a nuclear take in chat.
That certainly is a take.
I think this is easily the best team in the draft. Maybe so far, but overall, I disagree. Maybe that's because I have bias, because I am stupid, and I don't know. I do agree with chat. Ghost types do look a bit scary, but I have good ways of revenging them. Like, Araquanid's got good bulk, Hans has got bulk for days. Obviously, I've got the fastest dragon in the game, ghost in the game. And H-Quillfish can do things.
Yeah, people are going to look at, like, the top half of that draft, and they're going to be rightly afraid, and then they're going to sleep on Hisuian Quillfish and maybe even the Lycanroc.
Lycanroc, I will say, I am very excited to use this season.
I've used Lycanroc one league before. It was unbelievably good.
Yeah, it's very good. I don't know if it got any fun new moves from the DLC, but...
Ooh, I don't know. Have to look into that. It might have got Trailblaze. Everything got Trailblaze.
Yes, that's true. But then, when you have Swords Dance with Rock, do you really need Trailblaze?
That is true.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like if I had to prep for this team, I would have a stroke. But because it's me piloting it, it's probably not that scary to face. We'll see.
Fair assessment. We'll see how it goes.
Good setup options behind Veil. Good breakers. Maybe a little weak to hazards and ghost types, but
possibly.
We'll just have to see.
Yeah. Okay. Let's have a look at our next coach, shall we?
We shall.
Oh, look who it is! It's Onesie Bayonet.
Who?
Oh, just some scrub.
Yeah, I don't know. So, everybody in chat right now, welcome back. One of the OGs from the very first Pokemon Premier League season, almost 10 years ago. He's returned, he's back, and boy howdy has he drafted a team.
Yeah, let's have some talking points. First off, rain is scary. We know this. Secondly, this is our first coach to go with a stellar Terra Captain.
Yes, it is.
And also, something we should really mention, that's all 4 Ogapons he's got.
Oh yeah, that's something we did this season.
Why did we do that?
I don't know, but Shroom, you failed to raise the most important point. What has anybody got for a well-played Beartic?
Oh yeah, I mean Beartic has potential. Like, it's unironically fairly powerful. It's just not particularly good at anything else.
I was going to say, he is also the first person in PPL draft history to draft, like, including the different forms. You got, 19 Pokemon? You got the 4 Ogapons. Yeah. You've got the 2 Oh yeah, that's both Basculegion forms, by the way, that he's drafted.
I did try and get him to draft Oricorio, but he wasn't having it.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, this team is scary. This is very well constructed. You've got obviously Politoed to set up the rain. You've got Ogerpon, which you have to prep 4 times for, by the way. Brilliant. Zapdos in the rain, spamming Thunder, spamming Hurricane, and then you got Clodsire to say, fuck you, I don't want to have to deal with the ramifications of my actions. I've got Water Absorb.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you got Arcalodon, or however you say it, which is still kind of an unknown quantity. Addie's pointed out the Morpeko, which I love. I enjoy Morpeko as a Pokemon.
I also enjoy it.
Yeah. And Whimsicott cannot be slept on. I've used it plenty of times and faced it plenty of times enough to know you cannot sleep on Whimsicott. It is tricksy and it's more powerful than people think it's going to be.
Agreed. With the power creep, maybe it'll be a little not underwhelming, because like you say, it can do a lot. I mean, it's gonna stop any kind of setup as well, or most kinds of setup with Encore. You've got Tailwind as well, Stun Spore support. U-turn to get on out of there into one of your breakers. Can we also talk about he drafted Talonflame Rain as well? Like, this is such a smart team. The only thing I think that he's gonna have trouble with is hazards. And having, like, so yeah, you can stick heavy duty boots on something every week. That's fine, but you have to have that opportunity cost of running boots every week, much like myself. So we'll see how he deals with hazards in the upcoming season. But other than that, I'm excited to see how this team performs.
Yeah, me too. I mean, a few things that he might have a bit of an issue with. He's kind of got the choosing your team equivalent of a Pokemon having 4 move slot syndrome. Like, which of your rain sweepers do you bring? If you bring them all and someone has a definite answer to rain, you're kind of screwed. Can he function with outside rain? There's a lot of mons here that can. I mean, we've seen him use Ogerpon very effectively. Zapdos is consistently one of the better Pokemon in draft format. Urshifu doesn't need the rain to be a powerhouse.
Basculegion as well
can probably do it without it as well. I worry a little bit, like you said, about his removal. Morpeko is not the most powerful of mons, and I worry about Talonflame being a defogger under rain. It could give his opponents opportunities.
Yes.
But this is still incredibly threatening and incredibly strong as teams go.
I was going to say, this is one of the teams why I would be like, my team isn't the best, this one's better. It's just really well constructed, and like Addison said, it can certainly function outside of rain. So
yeah,
we'll have to see. Like even Politoed gets Encore, so he could be bringing that to negate setup.
Yeah, for sure.
You've also got taunt options with Whimsicott as well. Like it's very clever.
Yes, it's a smart draft that runs under many forms. You've got rain form, you've got non-rain form, you've got just plain irritating form, and just straight powerhouse form. Like, this thing can do a lot.
I think the saving grace here for all of us is that Ogerpon can't Terra. Thank fuck for that.
Imagine.
Also, one last thing to note: Terra Beartic is absolutely terrifying, genuinely terrifying. Facing that in Swift Swim, even worse. That's going to be really spooky, and I'm not looking forward to battling Alex if he is on my schedule, because well played Beartic, everybody. That's going to fuck a lot of coaches up, I think.
Yeah, his Terra choices have been consistently great. You know, those are 3 great powerhouse choices for the Beartic. The Golduck has great coverage. I looked into this with him, and Stella is a very cool option on it. And then Politoed went, fuck it, I'm a dragon now.
I like the defensive typing of grass dragon. Fucking, I can't talk. Yes. Usually I would say defensive grass terror is stupid. Like, you should almost always go fairy over grass. But because this is on a rain team, I do understand why he's opted for the terra grass Politoed. So it makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, good terra options, can function outside of rain. Great hazard options as well. Like, you've got Rock Zarkaludon, you've got all the hazards on Clodsire, and yeah, it's gonna be scary. It's gonna be scary.
Yeah, just, you know, hope he never runs into freeze dry.
That's fine. He's got.
The more you look at it, the worse it gets.
It's fine. Just quick. Move on to the next team before anyone notices.
Yes, true. We'll speak to Dr. Slacking. I'm sure he can persuade us that freeze dry doesn't exist.
It's if it's not here, it's not real, and it can't hit you.
It's a myth. Anyway. Oh, speaking of things that we wish were a myth, it's Frank Trode.
Welcome everybody to Frank Trode. He is one of our new coaches. Seen him on the PL channel. Analyst content for us. If you watch any of the fan content, you see him doing funny skitty videos. Why did I say skitty? That sounds so weird.
I don't know.
That was a poor choice of words. But yes, he's here. We kind of don't like him, but it's fine. It's a running bit.
We don't like him, but we do like him.
He's the league punching bag, but yes, he is here, and I wish he wasn't, because he took Quaquaval from me, you piece of shit.
I mean, let's
there's all...
let's
Go
look
on,
at that. Let's
go on.
look at that round 1 pick, and why is that a thing that exists?
Yeah, I don't know. Also, he picked Glalie, so he's he's a goat.
Yeah, there's some OG absolute threats like Scizor and Hydreigon are there. We've seen how much of a devil Terra Hisuian Electrode can be, and he's got all the right tools to make it work. That core of Florges, Mandibuzz, Uxie just needs to stop.
Yeah, I just saw that and I was like, you know what? That does not look very enjoyable. Also, he's got the one Pokemon that just beats teams.
I was about to say, he's got Lantern, it just beats teams.
He just wins. He just wins.
And one thing I think we really need to focus on here is the round 6 Terra Golurk. So happy with that.
I mean, yeah, I was like considering Golurk on one of my plans. I was like, you know what, this would be a pretty good fit for my team. And then Frank picked up round 6, and I was like, you know what, never fucking mind.
Yeah, I mean, we were doing a bit of draft building as this went, and I saw Golurk, and I was like, have you seen the Golurks there? And he was just like, I'm taking it now.
I was gonna say, I'm excited to see what this thing can do. Terra Ground switching into Golurk is gonna be pretty hard.
Yeah, not too much of a fan of having to do that.
Also, no guard Terra fighting the dynamic punch.
Yep, that's the one.
That's gonna be a absolute nightmare to deal with. But also, can we talk about his other Terra option, Hisuian Electrode?
Yeah, like I said, that thing has been a demon in already in a bunch of leagues. Terra Hisuian Electrodes. It just gives it enough options to make it very, very strong and very scary.
I think the Terra options that he's gone with are also really smart. Like you've got fairy types just for the defensive typing, and then obviously ice types to break any kind of ground type. I guess Landorus T in particular. It's going to be difficult to switch into this mon because with Terra it actually has coverage and it makes it scary.
Yeah, very true. I've never been sure about Salazzle. Salazzle's always been one that I've had like drafts going and I've gone, oh, I don't have a fire type, I don't have enough speed, and I don't have a grounded poison. Should I get Salazzle? And I'm just like, no.
I feel like Salazzle's just there because of Salazzle.
Yeah.
Also,
it fits the team, what he needed at the time.
Yeah, I was gonna say it fits a role in which he needed. He needed poison. He needed, a fire type maybe. But can we just talk about this team setup options really quickly? We've got Iron Boulder. We have arguably the best setup sweeper in the entire format, Quaquaval. We have Nasty Plot or DD Hydra. We have Sword Stance Sizzle. This team is going to be a headache to prep for, and he's got really good priority options as well with Bullet Punch and Aqua Jet from Quack. It's a scary looking team.
Yeah, and you've also got the likes of Carmine Florges, which we've seen do work before.
Yes.
And decent hazard options going on there. Uxie is always a very solid setter. It's often faster than a lot of the taunters that might try and stop it. And like we say, Lantern just beats teams.
I was going to say, we've also got Rock's Hydreigon. So,
true.
I was going to say, one final point I will say, Screen Zuxi, I feel like, is going to be putting in a lot of work for this team. Because you just bring the top 5 in Uxie every week, and what's stopping that?
Yeah, and that's just your big offensive one, because that's not even considering the ridiculous bulk he has hidden in the back.
It's a good, well-rounded team. I like it. I would say he is a little lacking in hazards, but overall, I still think this team has a lot of potential. Yeah,
I mean, he's got... I think it's his last 2 that are his given hazards. Says, Rocks, Uxie, Spikes on the Glalie. I think Glalie gets Toxic Spikes. I might be mistaken there.
I don't know if it does, but if it does, that'd be wild.
I suppose Salazzle gets them as well.
You also have the downside of, you bring Spikes, but you're also bringing a Glalie, so it's essentially
that is something of an issue. But, he's got crazy power, crazy bulk, and just some hidden... I wonder what's going to be his big, oh, this is surprising that he's brought this and it's doing well, Mon. Because everything there is just a threat within its own right. You're not going to not prep for something because you don't take notice of it on this team.
I'm just waiting for him to bring Bone Rush Mandibuzz against my Heatran, and I'm just gonna sit here and cry.
Make it happen. Make that happen. Make that a thing.
I actually think it lost Bone Rush. I don't think it's a move anymore. But that is a move that it used to get.
Sad. Very sad.
Fuck you, Frank.
Yes, that too. With that, on that, let's move on to team number 6. And we have Frank's long-standing ally, El Scissor. Hola, guys and girls.
I was gonna say, what a back-to-back combo that was. This team is disgusting.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that sand. Look at that sand.
I was gonna say, who's that scrub in the chat? Can we ban those, please, mods? Ban this gravy guy.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, OG Sand plus Latios is pretty scary. This man sniped P2 from me, so I guess he can jump off a cliff.
He also sniped Bramblegast from you as well.
I sniped I sniped something from him that made him pick that.
Oh well, you know what? The universe works. And yeah, round 8 Volcarona, guys. That's
I was about to say that. Round 8 Volcarona into round 9 Horlucha.
Yeah, I don't know. This team is gonna go crazy. We've got good. So it's another one of those teams where you've got good speed control. Obviously, you've got the Sandrush core, but you've also got Unburden Horlucha with the Misty Terrain setting Wheezing. Most weeks, you're probably going to be running, the other 2 abilities. You've got Levitate and you've got the funny haha gas ability that I can't remember anymore.
Gas.
Thank you, Shroom Robot. But yeah, you could be seeing some Sword Stance Unburden, Misty Siege shenanigans from Lars. But it's good speed control, good setup options. How are you switching into the likes of like a Specs Latios or a Banded T-Tar on the same team? That's going to be hard. Yeah,
and you've got to worry about all that setup. And then you've got, for me, the hidden gem of this team is the Electivire.
Yes.
Electivire finally has worthwhile physical electric stab, which is super nice for it. Real proud of the job of doing there, Electivire.
So proud of you.
And it's still got that insane coverage that it always used to have. It probably gets Trailblazed, because like we said, everything got Trailblazed this generation.
It did.
Yeah, I think Electivire is the one that gets slept on. P2 is no slouch offensively. To be fair, neither really is Wheezing. It's got decent stats on it offensively there, but it's going to be run defensively with that amazing typing. Mm-hmm. And as we've said, we've talked about the classic OG Sand pairing. He's also got the Houndstone, because why not?
Yeah. I was going to say, we did decide to keep Last Respect bans this season. Thank fucking God. Fuck that move. That is Winston barking. Love that for me. Yep, he's real mad at someone else.
Heard us talking about another dog. How dare we?
Yeah, he had to assert his dominance, obviously. I will say, love the Terra P2. Absolutely love that.
Yeah, and, I was going to love using that as well.
Yeah, well, Skillet, you should have drafted it sooner, idiot.
You took it round 4.
Yeah, well, you should have taken it round 3.
This absolute maniac.
Well, he's just a Porygon 2 enjoyer, okay? Yeah, I honestly, with Terra, I feel like Trace Porygon 2 is going to be doing bits. Like, that's going to be really fun. And analytics as well.
It just adds to that unpredictability, because you know what you expect from P2, and then it smacks you with like base 105 special attack with an ability it's got from Trace, and it just sits there and doesn't die.
Last Respects is banned, yeah. I will say this team has great setup options, but it's in a weird place where it's going to be difficult for him to set up. Like DD Latios is going to be hard to get one off. Sword Stance Excadrill is going to be difficult, with power creep and all those shenanigans. But this is Lars. Like, I'm sure he will find a way to do it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But yeah, very solid team. I feel like it's again one of those teams where calcing for this is going to be a nightmare. Like, you just have to play fast against it. You're going to have to kill that Tyranitar quickly, or you're going to get snowballed very fast.
Yeah. This
also
team can get out of control very quickly.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's also a team that functions outside of...
Yeah.
You're not going to bring Excadrill every week, but T-Tar can still come on its own merit and just be a Spadef tank, so...
Yeah. Yeah, this is... spook.
It is spooky. But, yeah, I don't know. Banded Excadrill, Life Orb Excadrill is still going to be a big threat, despite power creep, I think. It's going to be... yeah, it's one of those mons that come back in the DLC that I still think is going to thrive in Gen 9.
Yeah. You know what? A very good point raised in chat, as if we hadn't been threatened by this team enough. The terrain with Wheezing to pop off Hawlucha's Unburden.
I said that, like, immediately! Yeah! I was
must have missed
like,
that.
I was like, you were going to be like, you probably want to run the other 2 abilities every week, but we've got Misty Sheet, yep.
Misty Sheet.
I'm gonna go.
There have been times where you've been cutting out on my end of the mic. I don't think you've been cutting out on the video, but you've been cutting out for me in the call, so it's possible that I might have mispronounced. So that's my excuse. What's yours in chat, eh? What's your excuse in chat? Skill issue. That's what it is.
Chat knows.
It's
chat,
Frank,
chat
to be
knows.
fair.
Yeah, fuck you, Frank.
Yeah, this is scary. I don't want to face it. Let's move right on along to the 7th draft.
Oh, sick! I have been cutting out. Apparently, love that last.
That's
okay.
it.
It's probably a good thing, chat. It's probably because you've had too much of me.
Never, no such thing. But speaking of things I've had too much of, Dr. Slacking is here, and I
wish he wasn't.
I need him to stop.
I mean, this draft has a cacturn on it.
It does. It does have a cacturn. It also has my Kamala.
It's a Kamala, Dave.
You're a Kamala.
You take that back.
I will not. Refusal.
Top 3. What are your thoughts on his top 3?
Crikey.
Yeah.
I mean, Tornadus, you can even look at that top 4, but looking at the top 3, I mean, Tornadus is a round 1 pick in its own right. I was considering it, but then I saw other things. Darkrai is here. Darkrai is allowed. That's a thing. Darkrai's here.
I was gonna say we just kind of breezed past that, didn't we?
Yeah, a little bit.
Darkrai's legal, guys. We let this happen.
We did.
We thought, you know what? Fuck it. Darkrai can just kind of do stuff.
Yep. And then Azumarill is here. Because why not have that just punching holes in your team along with everything else?
So, let's discuss this team's setup options, this team's priority options, this team's hazard options, and this team's screen support options.
Yeah.
All of those are good.
Yeah.
The speed tiers are a bit janky.
Yeah, there's a little bit of wonk going on there, but I think he's got a fair few things covered. Like those top 2 obviously are very quick. Then you're kind of, I think, dropping down to like Delphox.
I was gonna say, I think you've got quite a big gap between like Quillfish and then Decidueye. Like between Jirachi, Quillfish, and Decidueye is quite significant gaps. So hopefully he won't run into any problems. But this team's hazard options are disgusting. He's got the best pivot in the game with Taunty. You just lead or just swap into Taunty, take a hit, and then you turn out into one of your big breakers like Baxcalibur and Azumarill. Like, switching into this team is going to be a nightmare.
Yeah, it is. And he's got sleeper things as well. Like that Terra Delphox, we've seen how much work Terra Delphox can do. He's got some interesting Terra typings on there. You'd normally expect to see Fairy, just as a catch-all. But he's got some interesting typings on there, and I quite like them. I think they're going to do well. Sandy Shocks is another thing that cannot be slept on. It doesn't have the greatest coverage, but it is good at what it does.
It's very good at what it does. Like I say, it's got that utility support with screens. It's got the hazard support as well. If you don't bring your ground type, you're going to be in a sticky situation. And I think he's drafted it really smart because you don't want to be bringing a ground type against this team.
No.
You've got Taunty that doesn't care about ground types. You've got Excalibur and you've got Azumarill. So on the team, I think
Decidueye.
Maybe less so the Decidueye, but yeah, like
in terms of not caring about the ground type attacks, I suppose it can do a bit of work.
I'm interested to see what Darkrai will do. And I really want to see a Blunder Policy Dark Void set work because that seems
tasty.
really scary. Looking forward to see what this team will do. We'll see if Power Creep has hurt Darkrai or not.
I mean, there's certain things in there that Power Creep has hurt. I can see, like, you know, opinions that will have all those swords pointing at you. Jirachi isn't very good anymore.
Maybe it still has its, but it's certainly not. You know.
Yeah, I mean, it suffers from just. It sounds weird said based on it. It's not quick enough. It doesn't get speed set up. It's still good. It's still a Jirachi. It's just not as good as it wants to be. I think it has suffered. It's difficult to find a place for it on a lot of teams, especially with a draft with those front four.
I agree. So I'm eating a cake right now.
Where's mine?
Oh, just come get it.
Oh, okay, we're right there. Yeah, I mean, Jirachi relies a lot on defensive setup, unlike the other sort of mythicals where you're looking at Mew that still enjoys running an offensive setup set. Similar kind of thing with Manaphy, obviously. Jirachi really relies on defensive setup, and with the power creep we've seen in the last couple of generations, that just, it doesn't really work anymore.
I still think it can do work.
It still can. It's,
absolutely.
It's all relative. It's just, Jirachi's fallen off a bit.
It has, much like myself.
Big old mood.
It does provide healing with support, which I think this team greatly benefits from.
That is very true. He's got a lot of options with that, and the last thing you want to see is that you've worn down that Azumarill or that Excalibur, and then Jirachi healing wishes into it, and it's back and it's doing work again. Yeah,
I was gonna say it gets back up to full, clicks DD, and that's it. It's Jova.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, I like a lot of the options of this team. I want to see Cacturne do things. I just do. It's a cool mon. It's a cool mon.
It's a great mon, yeah.
Yeah. But again, it's Dr. Slacking, so half this team could be gone by the second half of the season.
True. He is also one of the kind of coaches that will drop his... Say, fuck it, I'm just... So,
yeah.
We'll have to see.
We shall. And with that, let's move on to draft number 8. And Vepsis.
Vepsis here. Hello, my little... Terrible. That was awful. I should leave.
Oh boy, this team.
This team is terrifying. I've just helped someone mock against this team, and it kind of just clicks buttons.
Yeah, there's a lot of super scary offense going on there. I mean, those first two picks of the Robot Gallade and the Robot Donphan. Iron Valiant, Iron Treads. That's the one.
No, Robot Gallade and Robot.
I prefer those. Yeah,
it's fine.
And they are very, very scary, and it's you never expect Iron Treads to be as quick as it is, but it just is. It just is. And then you move on, and you've got Gengar, Haxorus, and they hit like trucks. Like, we know that.
Yes.
Haxorus is very scary. And powerful, slower hitters. Alolan Muck is very, very good at the moment. As a switch into a lot of spec sets. Breloom with incredibly powerful priority. And then you've got the bulky attackers, like stuff like Rotom, which can run bulky anytime it wants. And still be threatening. Deoxy's defense is no slouch. It has a lot of good setup options, certainly it used to. I haven't really looked into that myself too much at the moment. Mm-hmm. And Noivern is just quick. It gets out of there. It can hit decently hard. Regice, Terra, Regice. Love this pick.
I was going to say, I absolutely love the Terra Regice. I'm excited to see what Vepsis does with it this season. I will say 9 times out of 10, you're probably wanting to bring Terra Normal, Specs, Boomburst Noivern and killing everything. But for that 1 week out of 10, we might see a Regice. And just for the chance of it, I'm excited.
Oh yeah. Speak of the devil, Veps is in chat. Hello, hello. Welcome.
Yes. Welcome, Vepsis, to the PPL. Very excited to have you. I believe this is his first Generation 9 Wi-Fi League. Please correct me if I'm wrong, Vepsis. So it's going to be really exciting to see what he does in this generation. He retired back in Generation 8 after he won the... Did he win or did Addy win? I don't remember. He made finals! I can't remember if he won those finals. I'm a bad host. Vepsis is a very good coach.
Yeah.
Incredible player with a lot of accolades behind his name. So everyone in the chat should go and check him out right now. He is definitely a coach to keep your eye on this season for sure. But enough about the coach. Let's talk about the team. Okay, so incredible hazard options with Deoxys D. You've got spore support with Breloom. It can also benefit from toxic spikes as well. You've got 2 grounded poisons, so toxic spikes he doesn't care about. He's also got knockoff treads to punish anything that wants to come in on spin potentially. This team has it all. It's got good priority options with First Impression Haxorus. It's got obviously the Mach Punch from Breloom. And then let's talk about his late game win con potential. You've got Scarf Gengar, you've got Booster Energy Valiant, you've got Swords Dance Breloom. This team is very scary.
Don't forget about DD Haxorus.
Oh yeah.
And it's interesting the level of influence that Toxic Spikes has had this generation. This is one of the better teams to take it on, not just because you've got those 2 grounded poisons. You've also got one of the better rapid spinners going, who is immune to it through the steel type, and you've got a Rotom who doesn't care about it, you've got a Breloom that can run Poison Heal, you've got a Regice that runs Rest quite a lot, and the Noivern that's immune to them as well. So many things that just take care of one of the better hazard options that exists in this generation.
Agreed. And it's strange because you mentioned it briefly before, but a lot of his bulky options have offensive capabilities. You can run Charge Beam. It sounds stupid, but you can run Assault Vest or even Boots Regice with Charge Beam, and it suddenly becomes a threat after a couple of turns. You've got Curse Muck, which is spooky. I don't think Power Up Punch is a thing in the game anymore.
No, I don't, which is very sad.
But I know back in the day I used to run a Best Deoxys D with Power Up Punch. This team also doesn't care about hazards that much.
Yeah.
Regice can Terra early on and not care about the rocks weakness. You got Treads that it cares a little bit about spikes, but rocks T-spikes don't care. Deoxys D, you've got Recover, so it doesn't care. Valiant's going to be coming in late game or for 1 turn and click a button and then getting out of there. Doesn't really care too much about the hazards. Gengar, sucking up T-spikes. Again, it's not going to be caring too much about hazards. You're going to have it in for 1 turn for a revenge kill. Noivern can run Boots or Terra early. This team, whilst it doesn't have... it has removal, but he's not forced to run it every week, which I think is going to be really nice for Vepsis.
Yeah, it also opens up a lot of item choice options.
Yes,
the one thing I ran into in Bolt and Flare was with my team, so many people running so many boots, and I was like, this is a bad thing, but also good, because it means they can't run a bunch of choice items or Life Orb or whatever. This team doesn't have that problem, because so few of his Pokemon give a damn about hazards. He can afford to run much more items than many others would in that position, which opens up so many more options for him of surprise items that you're not necessarily going to see. So he's built this one very well, quality over quantity for certain.
Yeah, agreed. Offensively, it looks very scary to face. Defensively, with Deoxys D and Rotom Wash, it's going to be really hard to take down as well. But really, really good team, really solid and really cleverly constructed, and very excited to see Vepsis return to the scene and see what he does with the team.
And also, that's only the second best Deoxys defense set, because the best one runs both Power Up Punch and Charge Beam.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Anyway, moving swiftly on from that, great team from Vepsis. Let us move on to part 9, coach number 9, and it's Jay.
JV, one of our returning coaches from last season, and he has got a very bulky offense team, which in Gen 9 meta, I'm not sure if that's like the king now, or if hyper offense is just the way to go. You've got some speed, you've got some priority, but the majority of his picks are bulk, and I love that Vigoroth pick so much.
Sorry, I was just having a look to make sure I hadn't missed any of the slides, but I haven't, so we're good.
That's alright.
Vigoroth is unironically very good. I was looking at this as a cheap normal type option. You let that thing sit up, it's genuinely going to hurt you.
Oh, it's a threat with a couple of bulk ups.
Sure.
But it gets reliable recovery. It's a Spectria check, so we love that for him.
Yeah.
He's got good hazard options and hazard control. Big fan of the Empoleon Latias core. I think they pair together really nicely. You've got Healing Wish support for that Great Tusk late game. Can we talk about the Terra Porygon Z? Good gracious.
Yeah, that is a very spooky thing. Especially with adaptability thrown in there. That's gonna hurt.
It is gonna hurt. Thankfully for us, I believe Terra and adaptability doesn't stack like the way it should.
Oh, thank goodness.
I think there's weird maths going on with the adaptability boost and Terra normal, but regardless, it's still gonna hurt. I also love the fact that he's gone Terra Ghost on it.
Terra Ghost is a great choice.
Yeah, I think that's gonna take a lot of people off guard, especially with Nasty Plot as well. Like Nasty Plot Shadows, this team is gonna go crazy.
Yeah, especially PZ under webs is not something that you want to take on. That is
not
very, very spooky. Some interesting picks in here though.
They do stack. I have been corrected. I thought that there was something iffy going on with the stacking, but I have been schooled, so we love to see that.
Schooled by the Rickster.
There you go. There we go.
But yeah, that under webs is scary. Interesting. I don't think many were expecting to see the Incineroar pick after having seen the Ape pick. So it'll be interesting to see how those gel together. Enamorous Therian, I've seen a lot of people try with Enamorous Therian, and I've seen a lot of people not succeed. Now, I'm not saying that Jay isn't going to succeed, because Jay is a very talented battler. It will be interesting to see how he runs Enamorous Therian, because like I say, I've seen a lot of people try and a lot of people fail. So I'll be keeping an eye on how well Enamorous Therian does for him.
I am personally in one of the boats that thinks Enamorous T is kind of hot garbage, but on this team, you don't have to run boots every week. You've got really good hazard control with this team. And does he have a Trick Room setter? Because if he does, his team is also looking really scary under Trick Room.
PZ gets it, I think. Lati might do. Trevenant, I don't think does.
But regardless, I think like a weakness policy and Amorous set with, obviously you're not going to run Contrary. Does this one get Contrary? I forget.
No,
I know.
I don't think it does. I think it gets Overcoat.
Ah, that's the one. I was going to say, well, at least he can't be put to sleep. Tree is a Trick Room set. There we go. There we go, chat.
Okay.
It's, you guys say speed is a problem. I don't disagree, but you do have booster energy Tusk. You do have Tailwind support from Latias. You've got Infinite with that 104 speed. Also good priority options on there. He's got really good Scarf options as well on this team. And last but not least, you've also got Rock Polish Glamora. A lot of people look at Glamora and say, fuck it, I'm just going to pull my hazards turn 1 as a sash. And I think that is a massive waste of Glamora personally. People forget it's a very good special wall breaker, and it got Meteor Beam this DLC. Mm-hmm. So I'm hoping to see Jay bring Rock Polish Glamora some weeks.
Yeah, and I think he will. You know, that's not outside of his ballpark. That is not outside of his comfort zone. He will do that, and he'll get good use out of it. He's got some interesting stuff to try and put off going for removal as well. The combination of Trevenant and competitive Penguin, Empoleon dude.
That's the guy.
That's pretty scary.
I forgot it gets competitive now.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, great. Just another really well-constructed team. I will say you've kind of got a U-turn core, but it's between U-turn and Incineroar. I'm not sure how many times you're going to bring both of those, in a week.
Yeah.
So I feel like bulky offense is great, but I feel like it's going to struggle with no pivot support. So we'll see how this team performs, but I like it. I am a big fan. I like the top three. Top three is great.
There's a lot of things I'm interested to see where he's going with it.
Yes.
And a lot of things I'm scared of here. Mostly that PZ. But yeah, we'll see what he does. So, shall we go on to our next coach? We're over halfway through, so we're doing well. Let's move on to our next coach. And it is the wondrous and lovely Mr. Seabad.
When I got the DM from Chase saying, let me be a part of season 2, boy howdy, I had the biggest smile on his face. Seabad, yeah. I've got all the time in the world guy. And his team is interesting. I hate it. He has Zamazenta to ground. We allowed Zamazenta to ground. Why did we do that? I
would like it to be said that the first thing I saw when I saw the document was, why is Zamazenta crowned even here? I was against it from the very start.
And you still didn't pick it up.
It's because he picked before me! I would have picked it up if I could have. Have we lost Ellie again? Lads, I think we've lost Ellie again.
Am I here? Am I alive?
Oh, there you are. Now you're alive, yes.
I do apologise. My internet decided to have a... But, yes. What happened? What did I miss?
You dropped out just as you said, why didn't you pick Zamazenta? He picked before me.
Yeah, I know. Good. Get shit on. That's a skill issue.
You know what? Fair. Nah, this man has done some sniping. But yeah, it's an interesting one. This one. Firstly, let's talk about picks 3, 4 into 5. Screamtail, Gliscor, Snorlax. Don't like that.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like a very fun defensive core to face.
It does not.
So this team is scary. A lot of people were like thinking this is such a strange team, but I disagree. I think it works well together. Weavile is back, baby. I'm looking forward to seeing Weavile perform this season. But he's got good setup options, and he's got great anti-setup. Screamtail being arguably one of the best anti-setup ones in the game with Encore. It's going to be fun. This team looks a lot of fun to use.
Yeah, Screamtail and the late Grafai pick, which I was going to pick, Chase. That swept me so much. Grafai is very good anti-setup as well. It does a great job with that. There are some interesting ones. I'd say those first 2 picks where he's gone, well, no one's ever used Zamazenta Crown in League before, I'll take that. And we went, oh, you're going to take all new threats then? He went, no, Weavile. And then proceeded to do exactly the same thing as like, oh, I'll take Screamtail, that's new. No, Gliscor. There are some other interesting ones though. I think when people saw his team, they looked at the Mons and was like, oh, okay, so that's going to be Terra Jolteon. And then it wasn't, which was surprising. Terra Braviary is interesting.
I love that, honestly. I love that for Chase. Like, I am one of those people that would die on this hill. Jolteon doesn't need Terra. Like, yeah, it really benefits from it. It's one of those things that really benefits. But I don't think it needs Terra. It can provide screen supports for this team. And again,
And it got some new stuff. It got Alluring Voice, which, obviously people would prefer to run Terra Fairy on Jolteon, but it gets Alluring Voice now, and that has its own perks.
It does. I was going to say, but, like, again, it's one of those teams where you're going to think about bringing You've got Gliscor that doesn't really care for ground types outside of Mamo. You've got the Weavile that's going to come in and clip triple Axle every time your ground type's in. You've even got Decidueye there as well for a kind of a bulky switch in. And also Zamazenta. Why did we let Zamazenta become a thing?
I don't even
We're
know,
stupid.
man. That was, I was against it from the start, but he's gone and got it. Hisuian Arcanine, we should talk about how powerful that thing is. It's very, very good. And I'm going to throw it out there. Basculin is criminally underrated.
Yes, it is. I was honestly a little sad to see that he didn't decide to Terra the Basculin, but I do understand why he went with Terra Grafaiae. You know, we've got the unburdened shenanigans there. But I like the Terra picks, but Basculin also good.
Yeah, I looked at that and thought we'd be looking at Jolteon, Basculin. I mean, Grafaiae, I think, is a very good Terra Captain, especially going dark, and flying is very good for those acrobatic shenanigans. We do have some sticky webs. We do have a spider.
Yeah, that's about all it has going for it, but it is there.
It does hit fairly hard. Unfortunately, it gets outsped by, like, me
everything
IRL.
under the sun.
Which, you know, is its own thing.
It doesn't get outsped by Trapinch though, so maybe Chase can bring it against me. Who knows?
That is true. Yeah, I bet you wish you were Terra Steel now, huh?
I do so bad. This team looks tricky to swap into. Like with Zamazenta, Weavile, and like Banded, Hisuian Arcanine. Like, where are your switch-ins?
Yeah, and also, when he brings in his bulky things, what are you going to do about it? Because there are 4 things on there, right? I would normally say 3. I'm assuming Zamazenta is part of this club, right? Yes. Zamazenta Crowns, Screamtail, Gliscor, and Snorlax. Those 4 things, you go for a super effective move, and they don't die.
I'm pretty sure Snorlax also gets counter.
It does. Yes, this is true. Ash used it against Harrison's Houndoom in the anime season 2, 3, something
There we go. I will say the one thing I don't like about this team is his lack of special offense. You've really only got Braviary and John. Like, to an extent, you've got Decidueye, but most weeks you probably want to run that like Swords Dance, Shadow Sneak, or just as a bulky kind of default user.
Yeah, like honestly, one of your better special options there is unironically Basculin. Just
Specs Basculin goes crazy. Yeah. But again, like, it's whilst the special attackers, like, I don't know, may seem underwhelming on paper, we're gonna see kind of how this team performs through Chase. Like, I'm sure find a good way to play this. Even Serp's Screamtail. Like, Serp's Carmine Screamtail is going to go crazy because, like, again, who wants to bring a dark type against this team? So. Yeah,
it's going to be a difficult one to face down. I think he's going to rely on chipping away at things and outlasting people, really.
Yes,
it's one of the few teams, I think, that can reliably do that.
Yes.
Cool. So with that, let's move on to team number 11, I believe this is. And there it is. It's many people's favourites, or certainly one of many people's favourites to win this entire league, and myself included in that. It is Addison. Shock the system. Great reference, Addy. Yeah, this team.
Kind of disgusting, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Queen of Draft League truly has got one of the best teams I've ever fucking seen. Most people are going to be like, oh, well, it's got 3 water types. It's dog shit. They all do entirely different things. You've got 2 fast Hazardsters. You've got multi-scale Dragonite. You've got fantastic priority options, fantastic breaking options. The best taunt user in the game. You've got the regen on Mienshao. So I don't know. This team has it all. And Terra Ursaring, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
The ringer is back.
Ursaring is a very, very, very good pick on a team of very good picks. Ursaring, you wouldn't think Earthring would stand out there, but it does. Like, this thing is another one of those guys, especially with Terra, Eviolite. It doesn't die when you think it's going to die.
No. As I say, like, you can knock off its Violite, but with Terra Fairy, like, who fucking needs a Violite now? Like, it thrived before it got access to Eviolite, and we're going to see it again here.
Yeah. And, I mean, we're focusing kind of on the bottom half of the draft, and shout out to the round 10 Volcanion.
That goes crazy.
That is crazy powerful. I mean, those front three are monsters. Deoxys Speed is wonderful at what it does. No one does it quite like it. Greninja, we've seen how ridiculous that thing can be in the past few seasons. And Dragonite, same. I think Dragonite, it's weird. Oh, my music stopped. Why has that happened? Aha, we're back. Dragonite was weirdly unfashionable for a long time, and I don't know why.
I don't know.
People were like, oh, but Salamence is so much better. Oh, and Hydreigon. So it's like, no, Dragonite is arguably the most powerful of them, and it's got such a busted ability as well. You pair it with the likes of these defensive monsters like Swampert. Saurina is crazy bulky. People forget, and the things that don't be slept on. Like, it's so common to see loads of fighting types go before Mienshao. Mienshao is great. Tinkaton is great. Swalot. Here's what I'll say about Swalot. Okay? And I'm on your side here, Addy. Swalot was a snipe. There were other people who wanted it.
I think that's really funny in and of itself.
Like, and more than one person was after it.
Yeah, it's just really funny to me.
It's another one of those ones, you hit it with a super effective move, and its HP is so high that it just doesn't die. And then it can do nasty things. Roasting Fan's an interesting one. Probably one of the least picked in the format, I think, outside of the fridge.
I will say I am kind of disappointed that she didn't go Terra Racing Fan, because I would have loved to have seen that do things. But I do understand the Terra Serena instead, so it makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense.
But we have some fantastic early game pieces with Deoxys Speed and Greninja, paired with the offensive breakers of Dragonite, Mienshao, and Serena. Like, you've even got a really good Volt Turn core of, U-Turn Gren, you've got U-Turn Mienshao, you've got U-Turn on Serena, you've got Volt Switch on Votum to bring in those powerful... Yeah, and Flip Turn Swampert to bring in those powerful breakers. And then even as a late game sweeper, you've got Gren with the Battle Bond. You've got DD Dragonite behind screens from Deoxys Speed. You've got Swords Dance Mienshao. Like, this team truly has everything. It's so good and so well constructed. And Addison is like sitting there just like, I know, bitches.
This is the thing. We've got one of the best drafts in the league, under the control of one of the best drafters and players in the league, and Addy's just sitting there like, yeah, I know it, and what?
I'm scared. Yeah. This is gonna be difficult, and honestly, the three water type, I am a big fan of the three water. I'm excited to see. I hope she brings them all 1 week. I really hope she does. That's amazing.
This is the thing. People who say, oh, it's bad because you've got 3 of the same type, tell me you don't know about Pokemon without telling me you don't know about Pokemon. There is nothing wrong with doubling up on types. There's nothing wrong with tripling up on types. Especially in this instance, where they all do such drastically different things. And they come into the game at such drastically different times.
They all play a different role, and each role is really smart. Like, you've got the Specs Wall Breaker and Volcanion, you've got the bulky pivot support, you've got the early game Spike Settle, or the late game Sweeper and Gran. Like, it's gross. This team is gross. Yeah. It's gross.
Her team would be the weaker without any of those 3 on it. She's drafted incredibly well, as she always does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really have much more to say on that. One thing I will say, though, that we forgot to mention, Ellie, and really we should have mentioned it.
Go on.
Hey, Chase, where's the Flamigo?
Oh, yeah. Fucking, what a coward.
Absolute coward maneuver.
All fucking draft, this man was like, I'm picking round 1 Flamigo. I'm picking it. I'm gonna pick round 1 from Ego. And then he was like, no, you know what? I'm not gonna pick it. It's fucking
and
coward.
then round 1 where he's like, no guys, I really am gonna take it later on. I really am. And then he never did. My disappointment is immeasurable, and my entire year was ruined.
Fucking Seabad, man.
Yeah.
What a guy.
Anyway, yeah, we love him. We do love Chase. But yes.
Let's go onwards.
Let's move
To
on.
our next
Oh boy. Who's this guy?
Oh, I don't know, some fucking scrub.
Yeah, let's just move on to the next one. We don't need to talk about
Yeah, I agree. This doesn't matter how good this draft is. The person at pilot is really shit at the game, so it doesn't matter.
He is. It's me, guys. It's me.
Spoiler
it's
alert! Shroomies in this season. Let's fucking go, baby.
Yeah, boy, we back.
Can we talk about this team? Shush. It's an interesting one. I'm excited. You've got fuck you for picking Hisuian Samurai, by the way, you fucking piece of shit. Alright, so we have Terra Sinistra and Terra Zangoose. Love that. We've got SD Scale Shot, Dragon Dance. Nope. Doesn't get Dragon Dance. SD Scale Shot Chomp. Or even Hazard's Bot Chomp. This fucking team's options for hazards is absolutely disgusting. I don't want to face this team. There's so many different things that this team can do. Chomp can be run physical or special. You've got Mew that you cannot prep for. Like, that thing, you don't know what it does. Don't know if it's going to be DD. Don't know if it's going to be Nasty Plot. Don't know if it's going to be Calm Mind. You don't know if it's just going to be fucking Taunt with hazards. Who knows? Then you got the likes of switching into Hisuian the Samurai to worry about. And Enamoris? Chuck a choice specs on that bitch? And oh my god, how do you switch into those first 4? My god. Also, big fan of the 2 legendary beasts on one team. Absolute coward for also not drafting Suicune.
I know. Elliot, I'm sorry. Addison wants me to. I'm sorry. Daria, I'm sorry. I couldn't do it.
Coward. Absolute coward.
I mean, I went into this draft with 2 things in mind. I'm like, I'm taking Hisuian Samurai and I'm getting Sinistra. That was all I had. Going into this.
What gravitated you towards Sinistra so much?
I mean, I love T. That's obvious. Like, as soon as this thing was revealed, I was like, this is a trade with T and a shit ton of really bad puns. I'm all in. But like, having seen how much of an absolute demon Terra Sinistra has been in a relatively short space of time that people have been using it, I was like, this thing has to come. Like, some of the best healing you've got going on both sides. You know, Machu Gotcha is so spammable, and Sap Sipper is so good, and it has just enough coverage to make it work.
Yeah, it's good, especially with Terra as well. Terra Fairy in particular with Strength Sap is a fucking nightmare. Yeah. I saw Jack lose really badly to it. JV brought it against him and it fucked him up. Terra Zangoose as well. Zangoose, for those of you who don't know, is one of Dave's beloved and tried setup sweepers. He has loved this thing since generation 6? Gen 6? You've been praising.
I've always loved Zangoose. I've been wanting to use it for ages, and I've used it before, and it was demonically good. And now, how about those Terra normal toxic boosted facades?
Yeah, they're gonna go crazy. Like, calking Zangoose is going to be a nightmare. I also really like your priority options on this team. You've got Aquajet on the dude, the edgy guy with the horn. You've got priority in Mew as well with Vacuum Wave. I think it gets Sucker Punch. You've got E-Speed on Entei. You've got Mach Punch and Upper Hand. Fun new tech move that Hitmonchan gets. I think it gets Upper Hand. I hope it gets Upper Hand.
Yeah. It should be.
And of course, you got the Quick Attack Terror Stab Toxic boosted Quick Attack from Zangoose. That's gonna hurt.
Hoping so. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this draft. Like, certainly more than last time. And shout out to Stone Journer for 2 points. That was wild to me.
Stony J, what a
Stony
guy.
J for 2 points was crazy.
What do you think is your biggest weakness with this team?
my grounded poison type fucking sucks.
Yeah, but again, like, you have... I don't think people are going to want to bring in Toxic Spikes against you necessarily, because you've got that Zangoose, and you've also got 2 spinners.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still nervy about it. Like, this whole generation and this whole meta goes against my very being of how to play this game, which has always been focused on bulk. I've always been a very defensive player, and like that doesn't work anymore. It just doesn't.
No. Well, it can. It's certainly a lot harder to be like a defensive player now. But I do think you've got really good pieces on this team.
I'm hoping so. Like, I'm very excited for the Sinistra. I'm intrigued by the Enamorous. And fun fact: how long have I been playing this game competitively, Ellie?
A while.
I've never used Garchomp.
Have you not?
No, this is the first time.
Never
This is
in
the
your
first
life.
time I'm ever using Garchomp.
In a decade of play, you've never used Garchomp.
Never
Even
drafted
on,
Garchomp.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, thanks, Addison.
Well, there we have it, folks. There is Shroom Raver's return to the fucking PPL, baby.
Hell yeah.
Welcome back. Welcome back, Shroom.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure to have you.
Let's move swiftly on from me to someone who terrifies me.
Oh god.
Such a good player, and my god, this draft. Terrapagos was 14 points. That's dumb.
Yeah, I'm not sure what we were cooking with that one, to be honest.
Yeah.
We kind of let Terrapagos be allowed, and he was only 14 points. I will say from Jack, that was a bit of a silly goose decision, but you know, it is
a little bit. Lantern comment nerd. No, Alex and I are participating this season, so we won't be doing Heat of the Week. We've got Ellie will be able to tell you more about this. We've got fantastic whole new roster almost of analysts.
We do,
who are all great. And
I was gonna say we have a whole. I was gonna say we have a whole schedule planned for the content. So don't you worry. Heat of the Week will still be coming. Giggity. We're going to have Heat of the Week, we're going to have weekly previews, we're going to have weekly recaps, we're going to have power rankings, all that lovely shenanigans. So guys, make sure you're subscribed and don't miss out, because there's going to be so much content this season, as well as all the coaches as well. Everyone subscribe to every single coach that's participating, because
I agree.
Oh boy, you guys are not ready for the crazy content we're about to pump out this season.
But this team, I noticed Daria getting very excited to see the Meowscarada. I'm not excited to see it because it's scary.
It is scary. Yeah.
That physically offensive core of Meowscarada into Galarian Zappy is very scary. Goldengo is always a threat. Comfey is... These two dangerous defensive setups. Like I said, defensive doesn't necessarily win games anymore, but if you're looking at defensive setup, you're looking at Comfey and Reuniclus. That is a terrifying prospect.
Especially with Terror as well, like I would arguably say 2 of the best defensive setups in the game. Reuniclus with Trick Room, Calm Mind, or just raw Calm Mind to attacks, like that thing's gonna this team has got good Scarf options, good speed options, but it's also a fantastic Trick Room team.
Yeah, there's a lot of good options there. I mean, Reuniclus as an active attacking setter is wonderful, but then you've got Electros, which just has bonkers coverage. And people often sleep on the offensive price of Mudsdale, especially on the Trick Room.
That motherfucker's got 125 base attack. I don't know who's sleeping on it.
And also,
that's gonna be scary.
Additionally, on top of that, you've got he's got this interesting sort of setup of a very fast Mon who can set up and still doesn't care about Trick Room because of triage on that Comfey.
Yeah, it's gonna be really fun to see what Q does with this team. I'm also a big fan, as sad as I am that he didn't Terra captain his Electros. I'm very excited to see Terra Hitmonchan. Yep.
Hitmonchan.
new Hitmon form, guys.
Heck yeah.
But you've got Technician Terra fighting Mach Punch. You've got Technician Triple Axle as well, and Terra Dark for all the ghost types as well. So I'm a big fan of Terra Hitmonchan.
Yeah, me too, actually. Ice is not one that's always seen too commonly, but it certainly could work here. So much rapid spin, and some of them are even good. I mean, Tentacruel, I will always sing the praises of Tentacruel. I think it's fantastic. Grounded poisoned spinner that can set up the spikes in return and has decent offensive presence. That's very nice. Terrapagos are still a little bit untested, I think we would agree. And Hitmontop is bad.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare insult my boy Hitmontop.
I will, and I'll do it again.
Fair.
Also, what up, Necrostevo? I see you in the chat. Hitmontop is when you get when the speed is high and the attack with evolving Tyrogue. Ooh, that would be cool.
That would be cool.
I like that.
Do I need a nap? No, I need a miracle is what I need. But yeah, he has a lot of good, he's got hazard removal. The only thing I don't like about this team is his hazard options. You got Multi-Cell for rocks, and you got spikes and T-spikes on Meowscarada, which typically you don't really want to be running. So I think a lot of teams are going to be taking advantage of that and not cheat boots. That's maybe something Q has to watch out for. But other than that, I really like this team. I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's a scary one to have to go up against, and it's a scary player. You know, Q, you rarely see him out of playoff contention. This man is talented, and he's got a very scary team with threats that have been underrated for too long. And I think if anyone's going to bring the best out of them, it's probably going to be Q.
Yes, agreed. I have been fact-checked in the chat. Does Tentacle get regular spikes? Let's see.
Know.
I know it gets T-spikes. It gets T-spikes, but it doesn't get regular spikes. So you got the T-spike option there with Tentacle, but again, like, I feel like having at least another Stealth Rocker or maybe just another Spiker would really benefit this team. That's only my real gripe with it, but he's got good Scarf options. I also like the fact he's got Moltres on a team with a lot of hazard removal, so hopefully we'll see Moltres really shine on this team.
Yeah, and I think it will. Okay, not too many more to go, gang. Thanks for sticking with us. Just a few more, and then we'll be done with this draft stream. So, moving on, and it is our lovely Daria, Minneapolis Meowscarada's whole boy offense. It's this team. I kind of like to think the first 5 picks, Daria was like, I'm going to hurt everybody with the amount of power I'm about to take. And then the next 4 just kind of went, cool. And now the defense comes in.
I like this team a lot.
Yeah, yeah, me too.
I can definitely see some problems with this team. One of them being speed. Now she has got fantastic Trick Room options, but I think she will struggle with fast threats like Weavile in particular. But that's not to say that this team isn't disgusting. Palafin. Palafin's legal.
Palafin's around. That's
something that she has. Not only that, but she also has Cinderace, Mammoth. What's switching into a combination of those? That's gross.
I mean, the rest of her team would. But unfortunately, she's got the rest of her team. Ali makes a very good point in the level of priority you've got here. My music has stopped. Why is this happening? That's more like it. Back to my point I was making. Jet Punch. Cinderace has Sucker Punch. You've got Thunderclap on the Giraffe. Ice Shard going on the Mamoswine. And then, of course, that Glowbro has the Quick Draw thing. So there's a lot of powerful priority going on there. That picks 6 through 9, nice, are vile to try and have to face.
I was about to say, I love the top half of the stream, this team, and I fuck the bottom half I hate, but not for it's just it's disgusting.
Yeah.
Crest Sylveon defensive core. You've got Terra Noctowl by the way. Very cool.
Yes.
Very cool to see Terra Noctowl. I love that so
Huge.
much, and I think
We're huge Noctowl fans here.
we are. We appreciate Noctowl in this house. But yes. And with Daria as well, she is a very talented coach. One of the new coaches joining us this season for Pokemon Premier League. You see her in the chat right now. Go and subscribe to her channel. She makes fantastic content, and she is again going to be one of those coaches to look out for this season. Kind of an underdog coming out of nowhere, but she does have some impressive accolades behind her. So make sure to check her out. Give her some love. Phenomenal person as well. She's absolutely lovely. She's one of the people that I've met this generation that I'm really grateful to have met, because she's great.
We are big fans of Daria in this building. We certainly are.
We are.
Not so much of a fan of her team. I don't want to fight this team. Do you know the Mon, weirdly, that kind of almost scares me the most on this team?
Go on.
It's Zarude.
Yes.
Here's my thing about Zarude. It is so much more stupidly bulky than you think it is.
Yes, it is.
It is crazy how well that thing takes massively super effective hits. It's wild. It doesn't die when it's supposed to.
You know what else this team doesn't care about?
What's that?
Scald. The very few things that get it, this team does not care about Scald. You've got, obviously you've got the defensive pieces in Crest, Sylveon, and Slowbro. Not really caring too much. You've got Water Absorb, Quag, and you've got Zarude with Jungle Healing. This team does not give a crap about Scald at all.
Yeah, it's super spooky. I don't relish the thought of going against it. I've seen something in the chat that I picked up on there, which was someone talking about not caring about setup, because not only do you have Water Absorb on Quag, you've also called got Unaware.
It's gonna be a hard team to break defensively, and a hard one to switch into offensively.
For sure.
And also you've got Court Change Cinderace. So if you want to try and set up, say fuck it, I'm gonna try and break past this with some bulk up behind screens or set up behind screens, whatever. Nope. Yoink. Those screens are mine now.
And you know, Necro makes a very, very valid point there about enabling Palafin. Look at the pivoting on this team. Volt Switch Giraffe, U-turn on the Cinderace, U-turn on the Zarude. Baton Pass going on there with the Sylveon. I'm pretty sure Slowbro gets something. I'm pretty sure it gets some kind of thing.
I think it lost Teleport, unfortunately, and Chili.
Really?
But alas, still really good pivoting options. Outside of the fact that, again, incredible priority options, good Trick Room offense as well, and good Scarf options. Like, this team, gonna be scary for sure.
Yeah, this team has been put together and drafted very effectively. Very effectively indeed.
Also, it is very aesthetically pleasing. It is a aesthetically pleasing draft, and we love that.
We do. You know what? Not enough is made about that. This is aesthetically pleasing. I'm excited to see how Raging Bolt is going to do.
Yes, so am I.
Obviously, is one of the new ones. I'm hyped to see it, and I hope to never have to battle Zarude again. It ruined me. I hate it. It's terrible.
Yeah, we don't talk about Zarude around Shroom.
No, we do not.
It brings him great amounts of pain.
It brings me the big sad. Not even just the little one or the medium one, the big sad.
But is it the big trademark sag? Sag? Oh my god, I need to go to sleep.
It is the big trademark sad trademark. That's right, we're nearly there. We've got 2 more teams to go over. So with that being said, great draft, Daria. Let's move on to another PPL hero returning after so long in the wilderness. I am so happy to be able to say, Necro Stevo, welcome back to the PPL, my dude.
I'm so incredibly happy he's back in the scene, and this is a team of all time. He's got the dual weather core with Obviously, you've got the sunny day Torkoal. You've got the drought Torkoal, but you've also got Chili Reception looking into that Titan, which is gonna be a menace. But Necro Stevo back in the draft league scene after retirement. Welcome back. It is
So
a
hyped.
pleasure. It's a pleasure to have you. I'm so excited to see him back, man.
Yeah, me too. For those of you who don't know, this man has been doing the draft league stuff for a long time, like us. Unique almost in the fact that he has always bred his own mons from scratch for every game.
He does do that. And I think that is incredibly respectable and admirable. What an absolute madman. But here we are. 10 years later, he is still doing it.
Back in the game.
Very admirable. But let's talk about the team. Enough about the coach. As much as I would love to sit here all day, let's talk about his team. Weather. We've got Walk and Wake in the sun, Venusaur in the sun, and then you've got this a Titan. A team this can function without the weather as well. Like, you've got Unaware Clef, you've got the Terrakion, you've got Crook as well. And I like his Terra options. Terra Dodrio? We love to see that.
Terra Dodrio is really good. I'm very excited to talk about his like lower tier, lesser used picks. Dodrio, which is the best Gen 1 normal flying type bird. Fight me, I'm right. Zeb Striker got new toys to play with, which is cool. And, you know, Necro's not the only one who's looking at Zeb Striker. I can tell you that much. Tandemaus as well is cool.
I was going to say, I know Zeb Striker was on both Jack's draft plans at some point, which I thought was hilarious.
Not only was it on both Jack's draft plans, it was on both Jack's draft plans. That was hilarious.
Or was that just on my end?
You cut out there for a while.
Okay, well.
Oh, this is bad time for me cutting out. I don't know what the response is to my hilarious hilarity.
Have Terra Dodrio, Zeb Striker, and Orthworm right now. He could pivot at any point to Terra Titan at any point in the season. And that terrifies me. Yeah,
I'm not so much of a huge fan of having to face off against that. I mean, Terra Orthworm, we've seen how much work that thing can do in a defensive capability. And he's picked some really good typings for it as well, which I quite enjoy. His Terra typings are wonderful, I think. And also, shout out to the fact he's got 3 Terra captains and 9 different Terra typings.
I didn't even notice that. That is incredible. I love that. I am a big fan of the Terra fighting Dodrio.
Yes.
One thing that I'm not a particularly great fan of, I don't know, he has got a good hazard actually. I'm lying. Chat, ignore me. Hazards look tricky for him to deal with outside of spin or tidy up Tandemaus and spin Torkoal. I think most weeks you don't want to be running Boots Torkoal, you want to be running Heat Rock.
Yeah.
So the longevity of Torkoal on this team may be a bit tricky.
Yeah.
But we've also got Moonlight Clefable in the sun.
Yeah, no, I don't like that.
Gross. Don't like that at all.
But yeah, it is interesting what you say, like this team with so many different weather options. It's really nice to see a team that can function so well outside of weather. All of the things that work well under sun. You've got the Walking Wake, which is a threat within its own right outside of sun. You've got a Venusaur that likes to run offensively in the sun, but when you take that away, suddenly it's back to being a Venusaur. And we all know how good that thing can be. You've got a Galarian Slowking, which can set up the hail for Sir Tyson, sure, but it can also be a Galarian Slowking. I mean, Galarian Slowking was really well used before Chili Reception existed. So why not? And like I say, Clefable, Terrakion, Crocodile, those 2 lower tier Terra captains, which can be very powerful, they're not going to be slept on. This is a powerful team that is very versatile to the point where it's going to be so difficult to prep for. You're not going to know what you're going up against, possibly until it's too late.
Part of me was really sad that he didn't draft a Rain Setter or a Sand Setter because I thought quad weather would be. But I really like the defensive pairing of Clefable and Galarian Slowking. I think they cover each other's weaknesses really nicely. And then you've got Orthworm to deal with the ground types as well. But yeah, powerful Wall Breaker and Wake with Sun support. You've also got the likes of Terrakion with Sword Stance. You've got the Scale Shot Crocodile as well. Like, this team has a lot of options, and I'm excited to see how he uses.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited to see Necro coming back to it with a very fun draft. Welcome back, Necro. And that brings us to our final coach.
Drum roll, please.
Oh yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I haven't done this for a while, so it's fun to be back in the PPL. We've just seen Necro. He's been out of the game for a long time. It's good to see so many OG PPL coaches coming back. But where would we be without
the Don Fanatic, baby? Welcome back.
Where is he?
Where is it? Where is he?
Where is he?
Oh, Shroomy! Shroomy! Where is he?
It's fine. Don't worry.
Where have you? Oh dear. Technical difficulties, everybody. Number 17. Let's get him in here. Oh my goodness gracious me. It's okay, you guys didn't see it. Nothing happened.
Ladies and
the
gentlemen.
Don Fanatic is back.
Ladies and gentlemen, our founder, our creator, has returned to us.
He's still bad.
Oh yeah, he's still terrible.
He's back.
Yeah, he's still rubbish. And he will still be the league punching bag. But he likes it, you know. We're just doing him a favour, really.
The Don Fanatic is back after retirement. We've bullied him to join us, and it wouldn't have felt right without him. It didn't feel right season 1, and we were like, "You gotta come back, man!" And he did. We convinced him, and here he is. With a really fun-looking team. I like this team a lot. It's kind of gross. Tell me, Shroom, what you're switching into a Shifu, Iron Moth, or Kyurem?
Well, Ellie, I'll be switching in my hopes and dreams.
Yeah. Round 9 Kyurem, by the way, everybody.
Round 9 Kyurem is wild. Sorry, round 8. But still, that's still very late for a Kyurem. And Kyurem back in this game, this generation, is looking very good.
A lot of people are like, it's fallen off, it doesn't have Roost or Toxic anymore. Bitch, it doesn't need it.
Yeah, now is when we see the real power of offensive Kyurem. Not like we weren't seeing that already, but people were much quicker to run a defensive set on it. But now, as we see in chat, Scale Shot Kyurem is in. Loaded Dice Icicle Spear Scale Shot is a legitimate threat.
It's going to go fucking crazy. And that's before you look at this choice spec sets. Yeah. Oh, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, baby, this team is terrifying. I also love his Terra Captains. I think he's got 2 of the best Terra Captains. Greedent, obviously, one of the better budget Terra Normals, but now with Terra Fairy and Terra Ghost, fantastic defensive typings to put on Greedent. But you've also got Shaman. You've now got double stab boosted Seed Flare. Without the Spadef drops, that's going to be hard to swap into.
Yeah, it really is. I wasn't a huge fan of using Shaman, but I wasn't using it Terra, and I often found it difficult to bring Shaman. It didn't really serve my team much of a purpose in a lot of the matchups. With the Terra on there, that could all change.
Yeah, I agree. I like that he's gone Terra Fire as well to mitigate the Ice type weakness. I like that a lot. I also like this team's hazard options. Stone Axe is incredibly spammable. You've also got Defog Corviknight as well. You've got Spike support and Rock support from the Gastro. And again, you've got a lot of pivots on this team. You've got U-Turn Cleaver, you've got Volt Switch Red Key, you've got U-Turn on Corviknight, and you're going to bring in those powerful wall breakers of Iron Moth, Shifu, and Kyurem. This team is very scary.
Yeah, that walling core with Corviknight and Gastrodon is very, very difficult to break. I say I've used Cleavor. It's, you know, Stone Axe has become one of the most spammable moves in the game at the moment. Those big round 1 and 2 wall breakers, very hard to switch into. Greedent is one of those monsters that just doesn't die when you think it's going to. The raw speed on Regieleki, just being able to get out of there and pivot around. And then you have, not Gastrodon, Gardevoir, kind of the glue holding this all together. Gardevoir often flies under people's radars, and then people pick it up round 6, round 7, round 8, and everyone goes, oh, damn, that's a good one. Gardevoir is... Here's my thing. Something can be underrated while still being good, and for that reason, I think that Gardevoir is underrated. It is very good. I don't think it necessarily, still even now, gets the credit it deserves for how good it can be.
I agree. We saw how well Gardevoir performed last season. Addison went on absolute tear. Oh my god, choking on my own words there. Addison went an absolute tear with it last season.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of those mons that hasn't suffered with power creep. It's got the coverage. It's got the offensive typing. It's going to be a menace. You got the special wall breakers of Iron Moth, Gardevoir, Kyurem, and then you got to worry about an Urshifu and a Cleaver. Calcan for Cleaver, not fun. Sword Stance sets for Trailblaze, gonna go crazy. Choice Scarf sets with U-Turn, gonna go crazy. This team, I think, is really well put together, and I think a lot of people will see the Regieleki and like, why is Regieleki on this team? Fast screens with an Urshifu.
Yeah, you don't want that to be happening. Fast screens with a lot of stuff here, like even on a defensive side.
Greedent behind screens.
Well, Greedent setting up behind screens, but also how difficult are those round 3 and 4 picks going to be to take down behind screens?
I don't know. It's a scary looking team for sure. And of course you got Healing Wish on the Shaman and Gardevoir. You got 2 Healing Wish supports. So you got that to worry about as well.
Yeah,
but...
I mean, Gardevoir, like you say, had a great season with Addison controlling it, but also didn't have a terrible Bolt and Flare, and that was with Frank in charge, and he's one of the best people alive.
not a draft league, just alive in general.
Just in general. The one thing I say here, there's a couple of mons there, the Urshifu and the Cleavor, and it's difficult because you don't always want your Pokemon to be pigeonholed into one role. And they love running choice, but especially in today's meta with so many counters going on, people are like, oh, you don't want to be locked into moves too often. But what 2 better mons to be consistently locked into moves? Like, I was speaking to Jack about his pickup of Cleavor, and I said to him, I worry that you're going to find it difficult to bring anything other than Scarfed Cleavor. Because it fits into that mold so well, but almost too well, it becomes too predictable. But what a better move. Like, you're Scarfed, I'm just going to click Stone Axe, why not, might as well. And he has such good switches to things that it's not going to matter. Like, he's got some of the better Scarfer options out there at varying speed tiers, a lot of them with initiative. This is going to serve him very well.
I agree. I don't think there's anything else to talk about, really. I like the setup options with Moth as well. Like, you got booster energy on that thing. Moth, even just a slash lead, like Moth is incredibly scary to face, and on this team it's going to do really well. I'm excited to see Jack back, and I'm really excited to see how he does with this team.
Yeah, I'm excited for him to be back, along with a lot of the other coaches. You know, we've got it's this great combination of some fantastic returning coaches from season 1, Monte, Addison. Who else did we have in season 1? We had a few others who I am forgetting.
No, just me and Jack, no big deal.
Oh, but you don't count. But also we've got some fantastic new ones coming up in from Bolt and Flare. I know Daria had a good run in Bolt and Flare, among others. Did, yeah. And we've got some of the OGs coming back and giving it another go and seeing if we can show these youngsters how it's done, which I worry that we can't.
It's fine. Somebody has to lose everyone, right?
Well, quite. This is true. Who's Kaluaboom? Sure. Kaluaboom is
some nerd.
He's a nerd. He exists.
He does stuff.
He does the YouTubes. He does the Pokemons.
We went through Danny's team, right? We haven't sat through this entire.
Wait, surely. Surely we have,
Because that'd
right?
be, it would be really awkward.
Ellie, entertain the crowd.
I wasn't made for this. I've been put on the spot. I don't like it. Look at Gwydon, though. I'm pretty sure we did. He was the team that.
Oh, we totally haven't. We totally haven't.
Oh, we didn't do that. Huh, we're bad hosts. We got one more in us, baby! Shroom, you suck.
Yes, we do. I've made a terrible error. And wow, hang on a minute.
That's a nice face cam window you got going on there, buddy.
I agree.
It's a good thing that Addison's in the chat right now.
Yeah,
Danny,
Addison is the MVP of this entire stream.
Danny, I am so sorry that we just completely.
Danny, I'm sorry, buddy. So maybe he's not here. Frank, how dare you? I'm not taking this from you. I'll take it from anyone else, but not you. Addison micromanaging this stream from a car in Birmingham. You absolute fucking legend.
You're in Birmingham? My condolences.
Yeah, that
imagine
too.
being there, am I right?
Imagine being there. Imagine being from there. Gross.
Imagine living there.
Ugh, awful. But yes, Danny Killerboom, coach of the NJ Gold Eagles. This whole stream was set up kind of last minute, and I let some things slip through the net, for which I do duly apologise.
Don't worry about it.
But we do have the one more to go through, and that is going to be Killerboom, aka Danny, the NJ Goldengos. I was there for a lot of his drafting decisions, and my god, they were made.
They sure were. I'm just double checking the doc and making sure we didn't miss anyone else. I hope not. No, we're good. Danny was. Be alright. We're good. First off, I'm really excited, but also really annoyed at the Primarina because, boy howdy, did I want to use that.
Yeah, Prim is good.
I like this team a lot. Can we just talk about the fact that they have Annihilate Roaring Moon behind Aurora Veil?
Yeah. And there's not really much to say about that. It's just like, yeah, they do. But it's not just that. I mean, those first two picks are crazy good. We know this. I mean, I don't think I got the best out of Annihilate when I used it, but it's undoubtedly crazy powerful. A lot of people are saying that Roaring Moon is bait and that it's not as good as people think it is.
I mean, that's a load of shit. It's incredibly good.
You try playing it. But then you look at all the other offensive options. Primarina is wildly powerful.
Yes.
You slap specs on that thing, it's gonna hurt. Thunderous Therian is a nuke. He's picked up 2 special nukes in a row that can just hit straight off the bat and do powerful things. And let's not forget that round 3 Metagross.
Yes. Metagross can do a bunch of different things. And now it gets access to Psychic Fangs instead of Zen Headbutt, having to rely on Zen Headbutt.
And that new Steel type move.
What is that new Steel type move?
Oh, blimey. I can't remember what
is it Ring? It's like Ring Out, isn't it?
Yeah.
But the more HP you have, the more powerful it is. So that's going to be really... and that's before we even talk about the Terra... Oh, it's called Hard Press.
Hard Press. I was looking...
Thank you, Alex.
I got my various TMs mixed up. I was just Googling Hard Slam. That's not it.
Incredible. New DLC move just dropped. Hard Slam. It's a Shroom Raver exclusive. You can only find it on Necro and Paris.
Yeah, and there's only one on each, so get there quick.
Hard pressed to remember that name. Incredible, Steve.
Necro, how dare you? And also, I love you. And also, how very dare you?
Incredible.
Unacceptable behavior. I appreciate it.
But yeah, I like this team a lot. I will say it's lacking a little bit of speed for my liking. But when you've got the wall breaking potential that you've got, I don't think speed matters. Like, yeah. Annihilate's gonna take a hit and decimate you in return. Roaring Moon, unless it's, fairy move, it's probably going to take a hit and decimate you in return. Or set up and then decimate you in return. You've got the likes of Primarina as well that can just eat hits for days and just spam either Moonblast or Hydro Pump. Like, switching into Hydro or is gonna be to prove difficult. And then you've got Donphan as well to support the team with Spin, Rocks, and Knockoff. So
yeah,
it's an interesting looking team. But
one of the classic spinners is Donphan.
Yeah,
we love a bit of it.
I think we might see him struggle against fast offense, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, and there's a few things in there that I think could be better. I mean, going towards the end of the draft, for example, Muck I think is great. I think Muck is horribly underrated, and always has been. Rotom Heat, I can see why he picked it. It was certain things that he needed.
Yeah.
I know for a fact that it wouldn't have been his first choice. We had long talks about it where we I don't necessarily rate the Rotom forms as highly as some other people do, but they do a very good job. They've lost a little bit of their glamour with certain moves they don't get anymore. I think the story would be a bit different if, for example, they kept Defog. That would be really helpful. I don't rate Dunsparce, but that's just a personal thing. I just don't rate it.
Fair.
But it can certainly do a job, and I quite like that last minute Abomasnow pick. Just throw a bit of Veil on there, like we've said, and all those threats can just go ham.
I love Terra Abomasnow. I used it in I can't remember what league, but I used it in my first my god, my brain just isn't functioning. I used Terra Abomasnow with Aurora Veil, and it became one of my favorite mons on the team that I drafted. I really enjoyed using it. That was the team I had Quack on, I think, that went 27-2, something crazy like that.
Crikey.
Yeah, that was my season with Quack, which is why I'm really annoyed I can find. Yeah, I think the setup potential here behind Veil is gonna be where this team really shines. So we'll have to watch out for that.
Yeah, this season really has been the stop Ellie from getting the water type starters that she wants season.
Yeah, it is what it is.
It be how it do.
I am the greatest draft player to ever live, so I do understand why people want to snipe me so much.
That has been scientifically proven by Ellie posting that on Twitter.
Yeah, everything. I was gonna say everything I post on Twitter is fact and should be taken as such.
Ellie's Twitter is just canonically true. So yeah, that is scientific fact.
Congratulations, I've just become a millionaire. Shroom, do you want a house?
Wait, who said that? What?
I'm gonna tweet it right now. We're gonna become millionaires right now.
I like it. I was about to ask, Ellie, did you just congratulate yourself?
Yeah, I did.
You know what? I respect the hustle.
Someone has to, okay?
And that someone is me.
And we appreciate you.
Pretty sure Ellie's Twitter was in the Magna Carta. I'm pretty sure Ellie's Twitter was the Magna Carta.
I am.
The Magna Carta was posted on Ellie's Twitter.
Alright. Okay, now that we've actually
Yes.
talked about the entirety of these teams, should we have a quick recap for those that are joining late, and we'll just have a quick let's quick fire round. Go.
Wait, sorry, what are we doing now?
Just going back over the teams just very quickly.
Okay, we'll go in reverse order because it makes it easy for me.
Yeah, I was gonna say we'll go on like a quick fire round.
Yeah. Kilua here. It's Threats O'Clock plus Veil. That's essentially it.
I like that. Good summary.
Our returning Overlord,
The Don
Fanatic.
Fanatic. No. So, excuse me, Shroom. It's the
Don Fanatic.
Thank you.
Of course, all his French fans call him Le Don Fanatic. It's actually Le Don Fanatique over there.
Incredible.
Wall breakers galore. Good Terra captaincy options. Horrific things to try and break, even though there's just two of them, and a Greedent.
Yeah. Then we have. What's going on here?
I don't know.
Shroom, what are you doing?
I don't know. Hang on. I can fix this. I
You
can fix this. I've lost Necro.
No, not Necro. Get
Okay,
him
I found
back.
him. I found
Okay,
Necro
great
again.
news.
It's
You've
okay,
done some
guys.
sort- You've done
I screwed up the ending slides of this. I was pressed for time. It's a whole thing.
Don't worry about it. Necro Stevo
yeah.
returning to draft. Let's fucking go! With the
Yes.
dual weather core.
And he's
Love
bringing
that.
the weather with him. And a Dodrio, which we love. This is a terrifying draft to have to face.
I feel like we said that about every team.
We have. It's because they are. Daria is here with a draft of 2 halves. Let's get all the offense and then let's get all the defense. Priority Central. I hate Zarude.
I'm loving all these. I was gonna say, I'm loving all these like small comments that you're. It's great.
That's the wrong way. Cue the Costa Rican.
We allowed Terrapagos for some reason.
We allowed Terrapagos for quite cheap, and he said, that's not enough spinning for me, I want all of the rest. And then he got all of the rest. Powerful Trick Room stuff. The cat that can change its type. And a horse.
But which one is the horse?
All of them, possibly.
I was gonna say, it's not Mustang. Mustang's a bird.
That's possibly true. It might be Tentacle's bird, actually. That is scientifically true. Also, he drafted Goldengo, and that's just money. Alright, then we got this scrub.
We can skip over this one. No one cares.
Yeah,
about
no one cares about Shroom Raver. Yeah, that's the draft I did. You talk about it for like several seconds. You know what? Fair. So, Addison.
I just saw in Discord that I cut out.
Yep.
Incredible. Well, you know what? That perfect. Let's move on.
Yeah, that's my draft. I like it. That's Addison's draft. She likes it. 3 water types are better than 1. That's a bear. That is the quickest noodle in the West, and also swallows here. That seems fairly accurate.
Yeah.
Seabads.
C won't be bad this season with that team, because
No.
boy howdy do we not have switch-ins.
We don't have switch-ins. We don't have things that can kill things in 1 hit. There's a lot of birds there, and none of them are Flamigo. So Jay.
Oh my god, he is oh my god, my brain is not doing the thing. He has a lot of birds on his team.
Yes.
Napoleon, Latias, maybe Porygon Z. He's got a beak, he's a bird.
Porygon Z is definitely a bird.
Yes, it's definitely a bird.
He also has a turtle that's levitating. And a really, really angry monkey.
He's got 2 angry Incineroar's not really a monkey, is it? It's
It can
quite
be,
literally it's quite literally a tiger. It's literally Tony the Tiger in VC format.
That's potentially true. Lots of initiative gaining that's going to serve him really well with some decent hazard setters. Great Tusk is scary, and I don't like it. Also a tree. This speed round has devolved into Spot the Bird. That's my
As it
life,
should.
Necro. That's my life.
As it should.
Okay, Vepsis.
My little dinos, welcome. Sorry.
Vepsis' team, aka We're All Very Powerful and Don't Care About Toxic Spikes, the movie.
And then there's a Regice as well. Regice is just kind of there.
There is a Regice, and also washing machines do live longer with Calgon. It's just true. It's factual. Yeah, this team is nasty and scary and it's power. It's just power. And
Every day, Bepsis. I practice every day. Sorry.
She does. It's true. Also, Vepsis has a Breloom, and I love that.
Yeah. No. Good team. Good team.
Dr. Slacking.
This is the I'm gonna drop half my team roster, so let's not talk about it.
Very true. Dr. Slacking has lots of threats and just his team. It's so spiky.
It is actually. Holy shit!
Very,
yeah,
very
it is.
spiky team. Even the things that aren't spiky are spiky.
You've got Baxcalibur, Sandy Strokes, Decidui, Quillfish, Cactus. Wow. I mean, it suits him because, you know, he's such a fucking prick.
Hey-o!
Sorry.
Also, he has my Kamala.
He does have your command.
So, Lars, it's,
Hola, guys and girls. Hola,
guys and girls. It's Let's Take Gen 6 Sand Offense, the movie, and add a dog.
A little piece of Houndstone. Also, a Holucha's there.
Yes, he has wildly powerful setup that I'm not a fan of. Frank is saying, and my Quillfish from the round before.
Skill issue.
Very much a skill issue. Just be better.
True.
It's not really that difficult. Yeah. Gen 6 Offense, the movie with Holucha and Dog, and also my Porygon 2. Frank Trode, this nerd.
He drafted his Hisuian cousin.
He did, yes. He's on holiday. It's actually L Frank Trode now.
Of course.
But yeah, set up the movie. And also Lantern just beats teams.
I don't like this team, just purely off the fact that he got Quack and I didn't. Fuck you, Frank.
I don't like this team for any multitude of reasons. It's too good. And that saddens me. He has two things that are very round.
Much like myself.
3 if you include Uxie's head.
Can we not start a still this chain, please?
Oh no. Why is this happening?
Next person to type still this gets banned.
The thing is, that's just going to... Frank is just going to do it.
Yeah,
he's going to change. He's going to yeah, do it then. And we won't. Mostly because I don't know how. Otherwise, I'd have banned him years ago. From a chat that didn't exist years ago. Shut up, I know what I'm doing. Yeah, Frank's team has a Golurk, and I like that. It also has...
If he doesn't bring Power Herb Fly 1 week, he's banned.
I have already informed him that this has to be the case. Also, Iron Boulder is dumb.
Yes, it is.
Speaking of dumb, Wanzi Bayonet's team.
Yeah, fuck this team.
seems really harsh of me, but he knows it's only jokes. Yeah. He's got a weather. I'm not sure which one it is. Could be any of them.
Honestly, this looks like a sand team to me.
Honestly, I'm thinking so as well. He's got Clodsire. It's very obvious.
Yeah, this is Forms, the team. I have 4 Ogerpons, 2 Basculegion. Fuck you.
And a partridge in a pear tree. Or a Zapdos in a pear tree. Yeah, he has a Morpeko, that's cool. He has a duck, which is cool. His rain offense is a duck, a bear, and a fish. Which pleases me.
What more can you need? And
also,
a toad. You've got a toad as
yes,
well.
he does have a toad. This is true.
A stupid froggy boy.
I forgot about Froggy Boy. Also, he has drafted a car park. So,
Well,
moving on to Ellie.
Pretty mid.
Ellie has drafted some of the best things in this generation, and then gone, what was good in Gen 6, and taken those.
Yeah, Trapinch was a really good Gen 6 sweeper.
Obviously, that's definitely the one I'm referring to.
Definitely not superior, no.
Lots of things are going to get slept on, and Aurora Veil because Aurora Veil.
Yeah.
Also a very, very large wet spider. Monte!
Fuck this team.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I don't like Monte.
It's annoying that he's so talented and also just such a nice person, because I want to hate him for this specifically, but I can't.
He's also incredibly handsome, and it's not fair.
Like, can you just leave something for everybody else, Monte? It's unnecessary at this point. Can you just stop being the level to which everyone must aspire?
Also, hashtag Monte drafted Squawkabilly before it was cool.
That is very true. That is very true.
And he didn't get paid for it. He did this of his own fruition.
He also has a spooky horse.
Yeah, Ursaluna's really scary.
He has a spooky horse, a spicy fish, a very large gorilla, and
a butt plug.
Why does Dianthy look like Mesprit cosplaying as a stone?
It does actually. I like that.
I noticed these things. Also, Blastoise just looks like he's side-eyeing you, and that upsets me. This nerd.
This team is awful. Jack, I'm sorry, but your team is awful.
This is Jack's team, which is which ones of these will be left at the end of the season, the movie.
He's got a very red and purple team.
He does. It's quite red and purple. The worst and best of the fruit pastels flavors.
I like this team, but it doesn't make any sense.
It's just like Jack in general. Also, he has a Hydrapple and an Ambipom, which, you know...
That's a round 3 Hydrapple as well, so, you know.
Those were certainly decisions that he made, and...
round 5 King Gambit.
I don't know how much I respect him for it, but I respect what he's done, as opposed to him the person. Which I think is more than fair.
Yeah, no, that's valid.
And finally, we have Jonathan Esquire Ricky.
That's his real name.
It is.
Don't look it up. Don't ask him. It's real. It's canon. It's on
my
Twitter.
Yeah, I was about to say it. Damn it! You beat me to it.
This is sunteam.jpg. Also, I completely breezed over the fact that he's got a fucking Slitherwing inside.
Yeah, that's not.
Neither of us mentioned that.
No, you know what? We didn't. Which is interesting because it's probably a talking point. Should we talk about that very briefly? He's got a Slitherwing in Sun.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's all you need to know, really.
Yeah, it's...
God, what a gross team.
It's Sun offense goes burr. Some underrated threats, things that are very difficult to take out. Ampharos looks really angry, and Manaphy looks like he's taking a bath.
He looks like he's taking a bath in Tinglu's hat.
Exactly, and he's really enjoying it. Look how happy that guy is.
Oh my god.
Manaphy is very much the only happy member of that team. Everyone else looks either angry or suspicious.
Scum kind of looks happy, but
yeah, Scum
Cyclers are and
it is.
The other
like,
dude is pissed.
Raging thing. The old Entei is angry.
Yeah.
Old man Entei is angry. Manaphy's super happy. Tinglu looks really suspicious of something very far away. I can't really tell what expression Slitherwing has, but we didn't mention him last time, so he probably doesn't exist. The Hatterene looks suspicious. Skarmory doesn't have emotions. Cyclozar looks suspicious. Miss Major's just like, I'm suspicious, but no one knows. Victory Bell is psychotic.
Victory Bell is no thoughts, head up.
Hisuian Sneasel is sassy as balls.
Yeah, I was gonna say she is serving.
And Ampharos is really angry that it got drafted.
How dare you not put me on the bench?
Ricky's team emotions the movie. There we go. Done.
Good recap, gang.
I think we've done alright there.
So, everyone, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, like the stream. And I can't think of what else you should do. Keep your eyes peeled on the channel for upcoming videos and subscribe to everybody that is a part of Season 2 PBL. Make sure to watch the coach interviews for coaches that you may not be familiar with or coaches that you might be familiar with and just want a little recap. But that was the draft stream.
Yeah, keep an eye on everyone's channels who is taking part because everyone will be uploading their own draft analyses on their various channels,
yes.
Which is going to be a lot more in-depth than the train wreck that we just
I was going to say, whatever we said,
yeah,
they're probably going to, you know, don't even worry about what we said because I honestly can't remember what I said 2 hours ago. So
I mean, all you really need to know is that if you want to get much more in-depth and see what the sort of thought processes were going through our
I was
coaches'
going
heads
to
they were
say,
drafting.
genuine analysis. Make sure to check everybody out.
Yeah. All you need to know about this is that Ellie and I are hilarious.
Oh yeah, no, we're the best.
We are.
And,
we're
and the greatest draft league players to ever exist.
Yeah, and I'm fucking delightful, so.
So true.
But yeah, thank you everyone so much
Vexus.
for.
Appreciate that.
Thank you everyone so much for watching. I keep forgetting to help my button to be able to speak, so sometimes I'll just be mouthing shit and it won't make any
job.
sense.
Maybe you didn't even mute yourself. You just did that for the shit of it. But yeah.
Maybe.
Anyway, I think that's it. I need to go
Yeah.
to bed. Shroom needs to go and get a cup of tea.
You know what? Fair. It's entirely accurate.
I had a great time. Thank you, Shroom, so much for hosting at such short
no
notice
worries.
as well. You
Not a
were
problem.
phenomenal. Our commentary about the teams, probably not so phenomenal, but hey, we're here for the entertainment, and that's why you're still
we are.
watching.
Yes.
Like and subscribe. Follow me on Bebo, and until next time, let's
wrap it up here.
Yeah, see you guys later.
Alright, later guys.
Peace.